Hey everybody, welcome back to the Suikoden walkthrough. I believe, just recruited, technically, Kirkus? I think, anyway. Or at least, at the very least, agreed to help him. Yeah, here he's in our party now. Wow, though, it actually kind of looks like he's not required. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but it looks like you can actually kick him out of the group right now. That seems weird. And actually, that doesn't seem... I don't know, that just doesn't seem right, actually. Because if I remember right, he is... Ah, yeah, see, there you go. Yeah, he can't be kicked out. That's my bad. That's what I thought. And then I'm trying to remember who actually took here, because we can actually recruit some people right now. And hopefully I grabbed the right ones. Now that I think about it, I kind of actually wanted to mention it now. Sidonia there and Varkas. If you're gonna be using the the whatchamacallit, kind of like the stat items boosting trick. In my opinion, those two are almost the best in the entire game. And the reason being is either of them can be equipped with any rune, and the two of them have I'm pretty sure, if I'm correct on this, I'm pretty sure they have the strongest two-person unite attack in the entire game. It's slightly more powerful than everybody else's. So, I shouldn't say that. So, like, single target double character. Hopefully that makes sense. The hero and Kai, in my opinion, have the best unite attack. Just because it does. Actually, you know what? I don't. There's a couple of different resources that I checked out, but in my opinion, it looked like that your characters just do their normal combat damage whenever they use that skill. But then there was other times where it felt like I was dealing double damage. So I don't know. I'm not 100% on exactly how their unite attack works. I guess I'll try to pay more attention once I actually use it. But that being said, so of all the different characters and all the different unite attacks in the game, those two have it's supposed to be a 2.5 times damage, and that is to one enemy. So that beats out a couple of the other combinations of characters. The Pawn and Gremio's attack also comes to mind. So theirs is their unite attack does 2 times damage to one enemy. But again, Sidonia and Varkas are supposed to be, or supposedly do, a 2.5 times. And so basically, I don't know, long story short is, of all, their unite attack is the strongest of everybody else. And then on top of that, they have access to whatever, or you can put whatever rune you want on them. That being said, though, technically, Taiho and Yamku actually have a stronger unite attack, a 2-person unite attack, and that does 3 times damage, but every time you use it, both of them become unbalanced. And if you want to use the turtle rune, which is available in a while yet, you can do that, and that'll make it so that they don't become unbalanced after every battle, but that takes up a rune spot. So that really cuts down the effectiveness, in my opinion. So, boy, who did we just get there? Who was that? The gambler guy? I think you have to take Taiho back here. And then if you take Juppo over to Meg, she'll join. And then I'm trying to think of who else you can recruit right now. Looks like I'm going to grab Apple. I think she's recruitable now. Maybe not. Maybe she's not quite yet. Oh, here we go. Sheena will join if you bring LePont. Busted. And apparently Sheena's actually a dude. Sheena is, yeah, Sheena's a dude. I always thought, or I think when I first played, I thought Sheena was a lady. And Sheena kind of like the character portrait kind of looks like a girl. But, I don't know. My bad, I guess. Whoops. I guess maybe I can't. Maybe we can't recruit Apple yet. I just assumed that if she was recruitable, I would have at least checked out Matthew's house, but I didn't. So must not be the right time quite yet. It looks like it's, yeah, I'm gonna board the ship. You know, now that I have the chance to talk about, I'm gonna talk about Kirkus actually a little bit. Kirkus is kind of he's actually unique in that he's got a couple of different. Actually, I should say he has two different unite attacks. One is called the wild bow attack, and that can be performed with one of actually 3 other elves in the game. So there's a total of 4 elves. There's Kirkus and then 3 more, and obviously I'll point the other 3 out as we actually get them. But the important thing to know is that Kirkus is kind of like the linchpin of the wild bow attack. So the wild bow attack, you have to have him, and then you can have any one of the other 3 to go along with him. And the wild bow attack is actually really good. It does I'll just say 100% damage, so it does your normal damage, but to everything. So every available enemy. So a lot like the unite attack between the hero and Kai. Except the crummy thing about the wild bow attack is it does put both of the elves that you use into the unbalanced condition. So that's the crummy thing about that. But that being said, you know, if you're planning on using him, it's you know, it's a great attack. I used it quite a bit. And then he's actually part of another attack called what is that? Is it the elf attack? I think it's called the elf attack. And it's you know, now that I think about it, I don't know if it takes specific elves or not. So let's find out. Doop, doop, doop. I don't want to give you bum info. Now, granted, like I was saying earlier, though, there's a couple of different sites to get this info, and I'm actually not sure which one to really trust, because it seems that some of them are wrong. But okay, so 3-character attack. It says Kirkus, Sylvinia, and Stallion. So those are obviously 2 other elves that you'll be getting. The cool thing about the elf attack is it doesn't unbalance anybody, and it does two times the damage. So you know that, and that's okay. I don't know. It seems all right. But in all actuality, I did not use it very much. It felt like, I don't know. I guess Stallion's kind of garbage. So in his rune, he ends up with a rune that's permanently attached. So you're not gonna be able to do anything about that. Um, so, I don't know. I don't know about that attack. The one thing I did want to say, though, so an interesting thought that I had was back to the wild arrow attack, actually. If you had, say, Kirkus and 2 other elves in your party, if you had Kirkus equipped with the turtle rune, that would make it so that every time you use the wild arrow attack, he wouldn't become unbalanced, but the other elf still would. So you could use that. You could actually use the wild arrow attack every turn then, and then you would just end up switching off basically the other elf. So it would be, we'll just say for example's sake, Kirkus and Stallion would use the first wild arrow attack, and then they would both become only Stallion would become unbalanced because Kirkus obviously would have the turtle rune on, and then the following turn you could use like Kirkus and Sylvinia with the wild arrow attack, and then that turn Sylvinia would end up unbalanced, and then the next time the next turn would roll around, then Stallion would be off or whatever, he'd be able to use it again. So that being said, if it's gonna take you a whole lot of turns to wipe out a group of enemies, then I don't know how much good it's really doing you if you're not able to wipe out groups of enemies within a turn or two. I mean, I don't know, who knows though. You could try it out, let me know what you think. Give it a rip, see how it goes. But yeah, just a thought I had. But anyways, back to the whole Sidonia of Arcus thing. So again, if you're gonna use the stat boosting items trick and stuff, it doesn't really matter. Anybody that you pick is gonna be good. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought it would be actually pretty cool, because one of the things that bothered me about this game was it always felt like you almost had to take certain characters because they just blow some of the other ones just plain out of the water. Certain characters get a ton of magic at the end of the game, and some of like your tankier guys just can't hit anything, like their skill levels are low and stuff. So again, and what I was thinking was, there could be certain people that you really like, and in all honesty, I think you can really take whoever you want in the game and you'll do just fine. But that being said, if you want to make this ridiculous mage out of, I don't know, we'll just say like the most tanky person you can find, you can do that, and it's just, it really boils down to how much time you want to put into it, So I don't know, food for thought. I think I may have enjoyed the battle system a bit more had I utilized that trick a little bit sooner. But instead, I think I did end up with a pretty strong party at the end of the game, and I was pretty happy with who I brought. But there were times where I kind of felt like, man, this party's kind of boring, or because I mean, in all honesty, like I was saying in the previous video, I used Kai for most of the game, and I don't really like him that much. He's great for clearing out, gimpy groups of enemies because of that unite attack. But boss fights, he's not that great. And then, and again, in all honesty, though, basically using that at unite attack, I used that unite attack the entire game, and that was pretty much it. That was for any groups of enemies, that basically wiped them all out. So it got a little repetitive and a little lame, So, I don't know. It worked out, that's for sure. I beat the game pretty easily, but it felt a little bland at times. And again, those guys that combo is just overpowered. All right, what are we doing in Sika? Looks like I was thinking about moving some runes around, maybe? Ah, yeah, okay. So I did end up putting the Holy Crystal on Kirkus, and I think that Holy Crystal stayed on him the entire game. I don't think I ever removed the... Actually, I take that back. I did. At the very, very end of the game. And I actually used Kirkus a lot, so... You know, and again, I don't know. It feels like sometimes... Yeah, it's convenient. But unfortunately, the Holy Crystal doesn't do anything for you in combat, so... You know, up to you on whether or not you want to use it or not, but... I don't know. It just felt... I don't know. It's hard. It's a tough decision because again, you know, I like to dash around, and in most of the RPGs I play, I'm used to that ability, and so you know, to not have that without the Holy Crystal kind of stinks. So you know, but then again, you know, you with only having one crystal on each character, you're really limited. So I don't know. It's I guess I'll just, you know, just say it's up to you on whether or not you want to use it or not. But I guess if you take Kai with and are as leveled as I was, it's gonna be really a non-factor anyway. You know, again, I steamrolled this game pretty hard, so I probably didn't have to put as much thought into some things as I did. But yeah, you know, I think just like every other RPG I play, I tend to really focus on the battle system and find things to I don't know, combinations and whatnot that I really like. So wow, man, that talisman attack is insane. It seems so funny that Pawn is such a low level in comparison to everybody else. But that's what happens. All right. So the trail up here that you take Kirkus on, I actually had mentioned it a bit earlier. You know, even before you get your castle, you can technically come over here, and you can cruise around in there. Unfortunately, it's just a repetitive path unless you have Kirkus with you. So this screen right here, actually, that I'm on now, will just repeat over and over. So you know, it actually was a good place to level. It can really, like, if you find yourself having issues with the zombie dragon, you can come here basically and level up, get a couple extra levels, and then go fight it. And I felt like it was really easy. This group of enemies here is the toughest. I mean, there's 6 enemies. So what I was actually doing was I had Cleo with the fire rune, and I would just use her. I don't know if it was the level. I think it was the level 2 spell. The level 2 spell, and I think actually it was either the level 2 spell or the level 3 spell, and maybe they both just wiped the entire group out. I don't really remember, but it didn't take much, and you know, it's worth a ton of experience, especially the first time that you beat him. And here we have Vicky, and oh man, Vicky is just awesome. She is just so useful. Unfortunately, you can't use her in combat in this game. I think it's... Maybe you can I think actually you can in Suikoden 2. And I think 3 as well. Actually, maybe even... I don't know how many you can use her in now that I think about it. It's been so long since I've played the other ones that I'm not remembering anymore. But anyways, long story short, she can teleport us from. Unfortunately, it's only from the castle. So, you know, if you like forgot something, you know, you can walk back there. But the other cool thing is, from now on, she'll teleport you to anybody, or to anywhere that you've been. The only exceptions are there are a couple of places that she won't be able to teleport you for like story reasons. I would say like Gregminster, Rockland, and Lenin Camp. She will not teleport you, or you will not be able to teleport there for a long time, from much later on. Eventually, we will be able to teleport back there, but it's not, you know, again, for a long time, and that's because of story reasons, which is also unfortunate because, you know, you can't get to Mount Tigerwolf anymore if you were hoping to farm out any more like water rune pieces. So unfortunately, again, we won't be able to get back there till pretty much the end of the game. But such is life. The cool thing is, eventually we will get an item called the Blinking Mirror that will allow us to, or that will return us back to the castle. So the Blinking Mirror combined with Vicky's teleportation just makes the game much much easier to get around in. So it's a great combination, and I'm glad they added that in, because, you know, it is so convenient. All right, and here we have Kuro Mimi. Who, I don't know. I don't really like him. He doesn't have much of a personality, I guess. But again, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough when you've got 108 stars of destiny. It's hard to give everybody good personalities. All right. So now that we are back onto the world map, we are going to move over to the Elven village, which I believe is southeast, if I remember right. And I'll pick up the walkthrough back at the Elven village. So like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. But hope you guys are enjoying the videos, and you know, hopefully they're helpful. All right. Thanks for watching.